Hello and welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is a reading for Pisces. If Pisces is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there's anything that you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments, okay? Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that Wheel of Fortune. Very nice, very nice. The Wheel of Fortune is spinning for you right now. Let's find out exactly what's going on. A lot of fives here. So I think it's coming at a very, very good time. Very auspicious moment for you, finishing up Path of the Serpent here. Yeah, I feel like your luck really is changing. I think that you've been experiencing some difficulties. Let's do our mystery card before we forget. In this card, we're going to use the Smith-Waite Tarot, and I'm just going to select one card. We're going to set it aside. We'll put the frog on top, and we're going to forget about it until the end of the reading, okay? And hopefully that card will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need, Pisces, okay? So, we've got Major Arcana. We've got fire, we've got air, we've got earth, we've got air, fire, and earth. We don't have any water, okay? And I think the water is missing here because this is not a time for reflection. This is not a time for sentimentality or nostalgia. It's a time for action, right? It's a time to do. It's a time to be and to act. There was a time for some thought, but I think that time is probably passing. I think we're trying to get over these thoughts that we have, okay? The first thing is, of course, that Wheel of Fortune, this Jupiter energy, this expansiveness. Jupiter is that kind of energy that as the wheel is spinning, Jupiter's going to nudge it a little bit more in your direction so that you land on the jackpot, right? This is, Jupiter's kind of helping you cheat a little bit, not literally. Jupiter is making things kind of turn in your favor a little bit so that you can achieve the jackpot, right? And I think this really is the big payoff, the big reward that you've been waiting for. And again, it couldn't have happened too soon because we see this 5 of discs, 5 of pentacles. We see a 7 of pentacles over here too. So there's been some difficulties, I think, in the financial area, finding the resources that you need to do what you need to do. To fulfill your mission, you need your resources. And I think that you've heard the calling, 3 of Wands back here. I feel like you have discovered your mission. You know, you have received a certainty. You have made the commitment. You have resolved within yourself to follow a certain path. This is the end of that path. 4 of Wands, 3 of Wands to 4 of Wands, right? It's pretty straightforward. It's sequential. So you have committed yourself to your path and you are making progress. You are taking the fire energy, that inspiration, that certainty, that spiritual fire, that divine energy, and you're manifesting it in your life as your path, the beginning and the end of your path, right? This is what we're trying to do, I think most of us, really. But you, I think, have had a very peculiar last few readings. It's been a lot of interesting energy with you, a lot of strange coincidences, a lot of synchronicity, a lot of odd and almost supernatural things going on with you. So I feel like this, I feel like this mission has a very intense implication for you. You know, I think this really is an intensely spiritual mission that you're on, or path that you're on, or the work that you're doing, the purpose that you have found, okay? And I see with this card that you're arriving at a certain campsite. It's not the final destination. It's not the end of the path necessarily, but it is a resting place. It is a milestone, right? This is one of the summits, but it's not the summit, right? So this is one of those. My cat, excuse me, my cat is here to confirm all of this. In case you don't trust me, you can trust him. So to get us rolling, you know, we've got this 3, and now my other cat's scratching to be let out of the studio here. They beg to come in, and once they're in, then they fight to get back out again. So they can't make up their minds. And speaking of making up their minds, 5 of Swords here, right? This is the only thing that's kind of in our way right now, because the rest of this energy, we're going 3, we're going Wheel of Fortune, we're going 4, right? This right here, this is perfect. But we have this little bit of negative thinking, maybe some just kind of negative dialogue, self-doubt. This is kind of the pessimism, the disbelief, the mistrust of ourselves, the mistrust of our energy. It's almost as if you've had this kind of spiritual experience where you've had, this is like a real gnosis, you know. This is discovering your central, you know, pillar of fire, your central tenet, belief. This is your central principle, the mission of your life, the purpose of you right now, right? We've discovered that. We know kind of the purpose of things for the time being, right? Now, of course, I say that because this could change, right? This could always become something different. We can refine our sense of purpose. We can refine the mission parameters as we go along and as we learn more things, right? As we experience more, our plans could change. But for the time being, that is our central mission. We need kind of the grace of God, goddess, deity, the Jupiter energy, to keep spinning that wheel so that we can spin it all the way to this 4, right? So this is a pretty linear, sequential thing right here, and I like that. But interfering with all of that is this 5 of Swords. This is like you almost don't trust the process, or maybe you don't trust your interpretation of the process, right? I think that there are some financial things, a problem with resources, and that's bugging you. And because there is this issue with your resources right now, it could be leading to some self-doubt. I feel like the 5 of Swords is kind of resting on this 5 of Discs, because see, they're right here like this. So the doubt is coming from the uncertainty in your resources, right? Things are kind of shifting. The material is moving around. Maybe it's financial, it's, you know, living situation, it's your environment. Things don't seem so firm right now. And that's leading to a lack of firmness in your mind, right? That conviction, that certainty, that trust, that faith, right? So it kind of leads us to distrust that Jupiter energy and that Wheel of Fortune. We almost think, well, if I spin this wheel, yeah, Jupiter, you said that you're going to hit it on jackpot, but what if it lands on bankrupt, right? So we're not really trusting right now. And that's okay. That happens. That's a part of the process. You know, we have to go through this period of not trusting things, not trusting ourselves, not trusting the energy. But we'll always trust the cat, right? So we have to work through this. And I think there's no easy way to do that other than just doing it, you know, just working through those doubts. What we see at the top here is this Devil card. Now, this is kind of interesting because maybe part of this doubt is you wondering, well, am I on a mission from God, goddess, deity, or am I being duped by the evil one? Is this am I being tricked or seduced by the dark side of things, by this devil energy? That's something that is going to have to, that's going to require your own discernment, your own faith and hope and trust. Okay? Because this devil energy, this it's not good or bad energy. It is just energy, right? This is you focusing on your work and committed to your path. This is the endurance for you to keep going even when your mind says something's wrong here, or I can't do it, or I'm tired, right? The Five of, well, both of these. The Five of Swords and the Five of Discs is saying, I'm tired, I'm stressed out, let's go home, let's quit. So if anything, this is the evil one. This is the temptation for you to give up. It's not the devil energy at the top here. We may be looking at this as a scapegoat, saying, I'm going to go home, I'm going to turn around and go back to bed because this has all been a sham from the devil to trick me, right? That's the scapegoat. What the real culprit is, I think, are these demons of doubt that creep up. I'm tired, I'm mentally stressed out, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, this wasn't really my path, I was wrong, this was a mistake, blah, 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 blah. Okay? That's the real evil one. The devil energy really is the endurance to keep going with your will, with your creation. Okay? This is ruthless, right? There's nothing that this particular energy wouldn't do to succeed, to get to the end of this path, right? So with this, we do need some discernment, right? We have to keep this devil from running wild and eating the furniture, or breaking down all the fences, or digging too many holes in the yard or something, whatever goats do. So we do need to kind of keep it contained. We need to, well, here we've got the Prince of Swords here. This is air on air. This is kind of a wind coming from both angles, right? This is the trust and the faith and the hope, and this is the doubt. This is skepticism, and this is belief, right? We have two winds, and they're meeting in the middle, and it creates, oddly enough, a stillness, right? A calmness. It's kind of the eye of the storm, so to speak. It's the equilibrium of the mental forces, that healthy skepticism and then a healthy dose of belief, right? And that's going to keep this goat on the straight and narrow. That's going to keep you really focused on your work, but in a very balanced way, okay? And I think this is supremely important. This is enough to kind of to counterbalance this and restore a little bit of our faith and trust in this Jupiter energy. Because this, I think, is what is going to spin the wheel just a little bit further so we can get to that jackpot, right? Now, in your environment, we do see a Six of Wands here. I think that this is an indication that everything that might be tumultuous in your environment right now, the Five of Discs, right? The financial difficulties, or the trouble with the resources, I think you're going to come out on top of that. I think everything is going to be fine. You're going to be very surprised, very pleasantly surprised that Jupiter comes through for you and things are restored. It's like Jupiter's going to say, how could you ever doubt me? Right? Look what I've provided. So these problems, I think, are going to resolve. Now, of course, it is through your devil energy, your hard work, that's going to do this. But you have to have a little bit of that faith too, right? So those material difficulties, trouble with resources or finances, that's going to be resolved, okay, in a very, very positive way. Now, the demon of doubt coming back, fear of failure, we don't want that. It's in the position of what we don't want, Seven of Discs, failure. We don't want to try with all of this energy and do all the right things and still feel like we've lost, right? We don't want to keep toiling forever and seeing no progress, you know, because that might really be suggestive of failure. You know, when you keep doing the same work and you're not you're not gaining any ground, well, you're kind of failing at it, right? So we don't want this. We don't want to fall into this dark pit of, first, of doubt, right? Of questioning the whole thing. And then of being so anxious to see the results that we assume we're failing. And again, this is like that scapegoat. We're going to just, well, I can't see any progress. I must have failed. I'm going to go home. Same thing we said over here. So we don't want to go. We don't want to fall into this pit. This is like a pit in the ground, and as we're running down our path, we don't want to fall into this. We kind of want to jump over it, right? If it takes a long time to accomplish your goals, then so be it. You can't rush perfection, right? So we've got the 8 of discs. We go from the 7. We don't want the 7. We want the 8. The remedy for the 7 is the 8. And this is going slow and diligently, taking as much time as you need, making it just right, not rushing, not hurrying, not doubting, not getting anxious for the end or for the results, but being calm enough that you can see the results, right? You may be so busy that you don't see how much progress you're actually making, right? In your haste, you may miss these fine details, these fine indications that say you've really made a lot of progress. You're closer to that jackpot than you realize. Because we've been so busy, we're scurrying around like ants, we're not even noticing that, oh, hey, we're halfway done, or 3/4 done, or we're almost there, right? So we've got to slow down a little bit. We've got to slow down the mental energy, the worry, the fear, the doubt, all of those demons. We've got to trust, we've got to have faith, we've got to have a healthy dose of skepticism. And we have to continue our work in a slow, regulated, and diligent manner, and we have to be open and receptive to those small, subtle, almost imperceptible gains. All that progress that we're making that we can't see if we're not looking, you know. Let's go to the mystery card now. Curious if this card's going to say anything about these gains and this progress that we're making. Maybe we will see a 9 of discs, showing that, oh, here's the gains. These things are growing. I just wasn't looking, right? Oh, no. We see a 2 of cups. And this is the water energy that we've been missing. And we said the water's not here because it's not a time for getting emotional, for reflecting, for nostalgia or sentimentality. But once we can stop rushing around and go a little bit slower, invoke this 8 of discs, right? To slow down, to pay attention. Then maybe we can actually begin to let some of this water energy flow, right? And maybe the water is what we need here to get this crop growing here at the end. Maybe now we can slow down enough to really appreciate what we're doing and to share it with someone, with people, to enjoy it, to feel the joy and the connection, to feel that harmony, right? To feel the love. So I think now the water wasn't here because there's been just too much activity, too much of this kind of hectic energy, too much anxiety, too much doubt, suspicion even. So all of that has really overshadowed the idea that, hey, this is an act of love. From the very beginning, this was something that was meant to bring you together with someone or something, or with your purpose, or with your work. It's something that you're meant to share with people. Something that should open up the channel of love between you and your environment and the world, your people, whoever. So it could be that all of this work has overshadowed the water that is here, and that should be here from the very beginning, So perhaps that's why we didn't see this water. Now what I want to do, since we managed to get through that pretty quickly, I want to do an I Ching hexagram, okay? Now, these 64 cards represent the 64 hexagrams, which are the ancient Chinese oracles and philosophies and their connection with spirit. And I know this is not the traditional way to cast a hexagram, but I'm going to do it anyway. Maybe one day I'll do the Yarrowstock method, and we can sit here for 30 minutes more and we can go through that process. It's a very meditative process. But for now, just to begin incorporating the I Ching, I'm going to use these cards because I like them, because I want to. So let's see if we can get any other wisdom regarding this work that we do. Great possession, hexagram 14. Let's see, heaven is below, and then we've got the sun on top. Okay, 14, great possession, from the source, creating success. That's beautiful. It says, you are rich, either in material goods or in knowledge, wisdom, power, energy, talent, or relationships. And that's kind of what we're saying here, right? Just straight from the source, this Jupiter energy, this jackpot, the resolution of the financial or the material difficulties, right? And you're rich in these ways, but you're rich in all of these other ways too, right? Wisdom, knowledge, power, energy, talent. Whatever form it takes, you have something real and potent in your possession. That which you have or are, you can give, right? And this is you giving that. This is you sharing that, making that connection. This pure potential is an opening to source and a promise of abundance. See, that's that Jupiter energy. And at the end, Jupiter's going to say, how could you ever doubt me? Right? I told you I would be there for you, right? I told you that I got you. So that is requiring this faith and hope and trust, So the questions that it asks here is, given all you have, who will you be? How can you affirm and support what is good? So, that I think is back here, this 3, the purpose. This is what is good. This is that central principle that you're holding on to, your purpose, your meaning of life, your central truth, your inspiration. That is the connection to source for you. And beneath all of this anxiety, this worry, and this haste, we have this love, this connection, this joy, this sharing, this appreciation, And then it says, how can you affirm and support what is good? So that, I think, is a question that, we try to answer. And the first step to answering that, I think, is to get rid of all of this doubt and negativity, focus on the little things, focus on the details, be open and perceptive to the progress that you're making, to be aware of that. That's the first thing that you can do to really, to support what is good, to support this good work that you're doing. You need to be open to your own progress and get rid of all of this kind of doubtful energy, right? Very interesting. I love the I Ching. Always has something thought-provoking to say, Anyway, we're going to do an extended, and if you would like to stick around for that, just click on the link. That's right over here. That'll give you access to all of the extended readings, not just for Pisces, but for all of the zodiac signs. All right. I want to thank you for being here, Pisces. Thank you for letting me read for you. And thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.